You're at home getting ready for bed, you brush your teeth, lock the doors, and cut off all the lights. Right as you're starting to doze off, you're woke by a strange noise. You don't really think twice about the noise until you hear the squeaking of the hinges of the back door opening up. You realize the obvious. There's an intruder in your home, but what do you do? According to Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, also known as JSO, calls are placed on a priority list in a quick response time averaging at 10 minutes. That is if your call is a high priority and intrusion 10 minutes isn't considered to be quick. Reinforcing strict gun control laws is not as necessary as one may think. I know this is a touchy subject for a lot of people, so like Christopher Phillips, author of Socrates Cafe, we need to approach everything with an open mind. Until recently, I'm a new gun owner. I have a standard issue AR-15 and a Marlin 30-30. I have learned a lot of things since owning rifles, such as proper safety and handling, the process of purchasing a weapon, and the responsibility of being a gun owner. I must say that prior to owning a gun, I had a lot of views that I wouldn't claim today. It's been a real eye-opener for me, to say the least. To begin, I would like to elaborate the importance of self-defense, explain the process of purchasing a gun, and introduce you to a community of responsible gun owners. Let's begin by putting us back into the intruder situation. Regardless of how long the police response time is in your area, I never want to persuade you to not contact the police. If there is to be an intruder, call the police immediately. The purpose of having a weapon for self-defense is for your protection until the police have arrived to handle the situation accordingly. The fact is that most intrusions by people who have some type of The fact is that intrusions are by people that have some type of connection to you, and if you are a gun owner and known to be one, it's doubtful you will have any intrusions. What I'm getting at is that self-defense does not mean you have to shoot anyone. That it means that you possess a threat to the intruder's perspective. If I am in someone's house and I hear a loading gun, I would probably run like hell. The number of times per year an American uses a firearm to deter a home invasion alone is 498,000. That is an astonishing number to say the least. Gun control laws should not be considered to an extent. Many look at guns to be a threatening of violence. That is what is to be portrayed by the media, such as movies, video games, and truthfully, self-defense is 100% necessary. Now that we have covered self-defense, let's move on to how to obtain a gun. People that are for strengthening gun laws want to make it harder to get weapons. I don't accept the idea, but the idea for them is to make it harder for criminals to get guns. I try my best to approach this concept with an open mind, but I can't fully grasp it. Criminals are going to get weapons they want, just like junkies are going to get the drugs that they want. Outlawing guns do not make guns disappear. It just restricts the responsible gun owners and creates a bigger market for criminals. Garrison, secretary of Bighorn Hunting Club, states, people cannot agree on a solution that works because gun control does not work. When I went the first time to get my AR-15, I immediately got denied, and I was told that I wasn't allowed to purchase any type of gun. I was denied because I had an MIP charge, which stands for minor in possession of alcohol. So basically, I wasn't allowed to purchase a weapon because a year ago I was caught with a beer in my hand. This proves to me that the background checks are effective considering something so minute. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, there are many requirements when purchasing a weapon. Requirements such as no felony conviction, no active warrant, unlawful usage of any controlled substance, mental stability, or dishonorable discharge from the military. And there is so much more. If you are 18 and meet the requirements, then you may purchase a long gun, which means generally any shotgun or rifle. When you are 21 and meet requirements, you can own a concealed weapon such as a pistol. To get a pistol, you have to wait a 3-day period, also known as a cool-down period. This ensures that someone does not purchase the weapon in a spontaneous act of violence. George Washington once said, "A free people ought to be armed." Meeting the requirements puts you in a large American cultural community. Ever since I own my guns, I've begun to recognize a large community of responsible gun owners. My first time at a shooting range, I had a man from the military go through the weapons with me and really taught me everything I need to know. At the range, I saw every type of person from older ladies to younger kids. This really opened my eyes to see that guns are not the problem, people are the problem. 37% of Americans say that they or someone in their household own a gun. This tells me that we do not need stricter gun laws. We need people to apply themselves and learn the safety of their weapons and know when and how to use them. Many people use guns every day in their lifestyle in a positive manner. That be hunting, sport shooting, or even collectors. I would say this would be a vast majority of the people. The next step down from that would be the gun owners that have guns tucked away for protection, but ultimately their gun collects dust. But does that give anybody the right to disarm them of their rights? The ones that use guns for violence are very small compared to those that are responsible with their weapons. To wrap everything up, guns do not kill people, hammers do not beat up nails, and drugs don't do themselves. America is a strong country, and civilians have the right to bear arms. The Constitution shouldn't change people's mindsets. People's mindsets are what needs to change. People these days have become so greedy and ignorant that we do see an increase in violence, but imagine if we couldn't protect ourselves from this violence. Gun-free zones are a thief's heaven because the odds are in his favor. If we allow our government to take away our guns, the government will never fear a revolution and never stop growing. We need our guns for our individual protection. We need the ability to buy guns that suit us, and we need to be a part of the community called America and defend our Constitution and what it stands for, our freedom.
Oh my God, did it record?
I saw the screen go out, but it was recording